With the introduction of Maven in League 3.13, we also received quite a few new ways to approach and customize mapping. Now, in this mini-series, we're going to go over different aspects such as craftable watchstones and atlas passives to determine exactly how important they are for target farming and how much they influence your in-game grind. Hey guys, Sniz here, and as the title suggests, in this video we're going to take a look at the Platinum Lira Arthain Watchstones that increase the chances for a breach you find in a map to belong to Chayula. Now, I ran about 109 map breaches with 4 normal Conqueror Watchstones, and then I ran 109 map breaches with 4 T1 increased Chayula chance craftable Watchstones. Now, I'm going to give some background as to why these are desirable, then I'm going to go over my exact Atlas setup and then talk about the results. So if you want to skip around, timestamps are in the description. But let's get into it. So why specifically farm 4 Chayula Breachstones when the other breach bosses tend to drop items that are more relevant to more builds? Well, the main reasons are: 1. Chayula Breachstones, or Chayula specifically, needs to be witnessed by the Maven for you to enter the Feared to gain Atlas passive points. And 2. Pure Chayula Breachstones are probably the best source of XP in PoE. So the TLDR is, it's because they're worth more. So if we quickly take a look at exactly how my Atlas was set up when I did this experiment, I had 3 Watchstones in every single region except Lira Arthain, where I had 4. This was just so that I could easily sustain tier 15 plus maps. I then ran 50 tier 15 plus maps in Lira Arthain, first with normal Conqueror Watchstones, and then I ran 50 with these craftable Chayula Watchstones. Now, in my Lira Arthain passive, I have Probing Weakness for increased chance to contain a breach, as well as Flash Breach, just for more rare monsters. Now, I would run these maps with a Rusted Breach Scarab and the 2C Zana Breach mod, giving me at least 2 breaches per map. But if we take a look at the Probing Weakness, this gives us plus 10% chance to contain a breach, as well as the 8% standard chance to contain a breach. So that means we had an 18% chance to contain a 3rd breach in each of the sets of 50 maps. So in total, I ran about 109 map breaches per set. Now, for my Uncharted Realms, I just have Secrets of the Stone to increase the effect of my craftable Watchstones, and then +1 to the Awakening level. The rest, they don't really affect this experiment. For the maps that I ran, I just chiseled them up till 20 quality, and then I alked them, and then just rerolled them until they didn't have any of the undesirable mods that my build can't do. I only did tier 15 plus maps in Lira Arthain, and I also only used simple sextants on my Watchstones to avoid containing an additional breach in some of the sets to keep the amount of breaches across the sets consistent. So if we take a look at the 4 Watchstones that I'm using, these are all 4 Chayula's Platinum Lira Arthain Watchstones, T1, but none of them have perfect rolls. So as you can see, this is a 91%, an 87%, a 79%, and a 72% increased chance for breaches to belong to Chayula Watchstones. Now, I didn't go for perfect rolls here just so that the results are more widely applicable. This, in combination with Secrets of the Stone, gives me roughly 411% increased chance for my breaches to belong to Chayula. Now, if you were to min-max this and get 4 100% Watchstones, you could push this up to 500% chance for your breaches to belong to Chayula. Now, if we take a look at the results, first off, these are the results from running 109 breaches with normal Conqueror Watchstones. It comes up to around 1,780 splinters total. And then these are the results from running 109 breaches with the 4 craftable T1 Chayula Watchstones. And this comes up to around 1,827 splinters total. As expected, the 2 totals are pretty similar and pretty close to each other, since these Watchstones don't affect the drop rate of splinters, only the type of splinters that drop. Now, if we take the average across both sets, we come down to a rough average of about 16.5 splinters dropped per breach. Now, as you can see from these results, with the craftable Watchstones, I got about 9 times more Chayula splinters than without the craftable Watchstones. And if you're purely farming for currency and profit reasons, this is a really big increase to your profits. Now, since prices and currency in PoE tend to be pretty damn volatile, I don't want this series to focus on specific values of things. That being said, I was still curious to see how many maps I would have to run for me to make back my initial investment of the 4 Watchstones. Now, I bought all 4 of my Watchstones for between 100 and 150 chaos. If we just take the average and multiply it by 4, it gives us an initial investment of 500 chaos for all my Watchstones. And like I previously said, I also ran these maps with 1 Rusted Breach Scarab and the 2C Zona Breach mod. Now that guaranteed me 2 breaches per map, meaning I paid around 1.5 chaos per breach, disregarding the natural spawns. I then calculated the average amount of currency that I make from each specific type of splinter per breach, and I found that I made about 6.77C total per breach that I ran. Now, minus the 1.5C investment needed for each breach, that leaves me with 5.27 chaos profit per breach. Now, if I want to pay off my 500C initial investment, that means that I would have to run around 95 breaches. So with my current setup, I would have to run just less than 50 maps for me to completely pay off my Watchstones and start making profit. And there you go. Whether it's worth it for you to buy these Watchstones depends on how many maps you're planning to run, but you can definitely see that they increase the amount of Chayula splinters that we get. Now, like I said, this was part 1 of a new mini-series that I'm running. I think I'm gonna do Marrakech and Templar Legion Watchstones next time, so if you don't want to miss that, remember to subscribe, and if you have any suggestions for Watchstones that you would like me to test, tell me in the comment section down below. And also, if you're burnt out and you just want some PoE content but you don't want to play PoE yourself, I stream live over at Twitch, link to that in the description as well, and that's pretty much all there is to this video. My name is Sniz, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. In the BPL, I messaged him and I was like, hey Chris, it's Sniz, Path of Exile streamer and content creator here. Can I please have streamer client for some exalts? And he said, you again? And he just blocked me.